The reason why I call Nigerians village people is because of one trait. The very trait of always wanting you to come down. Not like if you come down, they will go up there and stay. They want you to come down first of all. If you are in a high level, they want you to come down first of all. It is not their concern what you are doing if you come down. They don't really care what you are doing when you are down. They just want you to be down. They just want you to be at that level they wish you. Not like if they make you come to that level, they will replace you with another person or they will replace you with themselves. No, they just want you to come down first of all. Now, VeryDarkMan, who has been fighting corruption, and it's very evident that he has been fighting corruption since 2024. VeryDarkMan has been a case study, not just in Nigeria, in Africa. VeryDarkMan has been saving people from very dark issues since 2024. And all people could do is spite him, badmouth him, rejoice when there is no evidence yet that he siphoned funds. Hey, God have mercy. While VeryDarkMan was serving people, I just wish that he was aware of the number of enemies he has actually made for himself. Because one thing that is actually evident in Nigeria is the corruption. And not just that it is evident, the corruption has eaten deep into the fabrics of this very nation. And not just that alone as well. Nobody wants to remove it. It sounds like an abomination when you think about fighting against it. That is where I knew that VeryDarkMan will have issues. That is when I knew that VeryDarkMan will have too many enemies. There is no other person in Nigeria that has the kind of enemies VeryDarkMan has. Let me tell you something. You see this siphoning of funds? You see these funds that is appearing in his account? Let me tell you something. It is very possible. It is 101 possible that the people who are actually behind this are not just ordinary hackers, but paid hackers just to paint him bad. As long as the evidence is not there yet, why are Nigerians celebrating his downfall? Look at the people celebrating this guy's downfall. It's either that he has actually called out these people, or that these people are doing the exact things he's actually fighting against. Now, on this very case of this very funds that is missing in the NGO account, in the course of this very investigation, there is every need to look at everybody. When I mean there is every need to look at everybody, there is every need for everybody to become suspect right now. Let's start from VeryDarkMan's crew. I am very sure that VeryDarkMan will not be that stupid to leave that NGO account, NGO website, app, whatsoever vulnerable, because that is the target of hackers to start with. If you are into tech, you know that if you have a website, if you have an app, the security is what counts. The security is what the hackers look at first of all. The vulnerability of that app, the vulnerability of that website is what the hackers look at first of all. Not like if you secure it very well, it's not going to be hacked. It is, but it's going to be very difficult for hackers to do that. Now, when it is very difficult to access or bypass that security, this is when the people who are actually very close to VeryDarkMan, or people who are actually close to the people who owns that account or website, come into play. Because they have very sensitive information that VeryDarkMan knows, or the people around him knows, that once you release it to the public, that is the only way you can actually have access to the account. And I'm very sure that VeryDarkMan will not be that stupid to do that, understanding that he has enemies. But maybe VeryDarkMan didn't know how much enemies he has actually made for himself. There are two ways today to vindicate VeryDarkMan in all of this. Number one,
first and first, sue Zenith Bank or whatever bank that is actually in charge of that very account. Forget about whatever indemnity you signed with them. As long as I believe that that account doesn't have ATM card, I believe so you don't have ATM card or app, you need to sue them very fast. If you ignore them, if you ignore Zenith Bank, they will be happy. If you are fighting this in outside the bank, they will be very happy. First of all, sue them. I'm not saying they have a hand in it, but then their lapses could contribute to this very thing. Because you can't possibly tell me that an account that has such huge amount of money in it didn't pass through some level of authentication, didn't pass through some level of security, didn't pass through some level of token integration, just for the sole purpose of if there is any attempt to go to that account or hack it, there's going to be a signal to the owner of the account or to the bank itself. It's not possible. Forget about whatever indemnity form you signed with them that protects the bank or that serves as insurance to the bank. Forget about it. Sue them first of all. Let them come and defend themselves, because if this thing is possible, that means every account with Zenith Bank is actually very vulnerable to be hacked. Think about it. Sue them now. Sue that bank right now. Because this is also a message to other people who have an account. I have an account with Zenith Bank. Why would you even use Zenith Bank of all banks? Why? Zenith Bank gets security. I have an account with Zenith Bank. The only thing I do with my Zenith Bank account is purchase of anything online. If I move money into that account, I don't use and purchase to I can't keep money in that bank. I'm not saying this from a place of anything. I'm saying it from a place of experience with the bank. You understand? Sue that bank first of all before anything, because if you come on, and let me tell you this thing, they'll be massaging you right now, telling you sue them.
Number two is a thorough audit of the website or the app, a thorough audit of it, a thorough checking of the transaction history. When I mean thorough, check the timestamps, check the amounts that were moved, check too many things. There are too many things to check. There is no way that you get to check all the things that will not find out how these things were moved. It's a digital world. It's very possible. If there is a thief who have the knowledge to hack, there's also a person who have the knowledge to trace. So all this whole noise about VeryDarkMan, I know that a lot of people have eyes on him to label him what he has actually been labeled or calling others. You understand? He has too many enemies. And when I knew that this very thing is likely to happen to VeryDarkMan is when he started seeking accountability from the federal government, from government officials and all that. One thing is that they have all the power you think they don't have. They can go to any length. When corruption tastes so good to them, if you have read the book, The Art of War, you understand the reason why it is telling you to prepare for your enemy. VeryDarkMan has too many enemies. And I think he doesn't know how much he has actually made enemies for himself. Federal, both high and low. The number two theme of this very video is to tell you that Nigerians are very bad people. Something that we've not confirmed yet, you people are already rejoicing, making mockery of him. All because this man created a niche for himself, all because people like Don Jazzy have been recognizing him with heavy millions, all because all the money that were sent into that NGO account is not in your own account. You be thief. You a thief. And when I say that all this is actually coming from youth, I see no future. You see all these things we are ready for tomorrow, the leaders of tomorrow, you people are not ready anything. That's when I go manage the place. You are rejoicing over a story about somebody when you've not confirmed anything. That means your eyes have been there on him, always wanting him to come down. If he come down, you go replace that place. Why do you want to pull him down so bad? If you bring this guy down right now, are you going to replace him? Are you going to be bold, confident, and brave? Because I know you're a coward. To do the things that he's doing, you can't. But you want to pull him down. Let that place be empty. You're a thief. Search your conscience. Search your conscience. If you're mocking VeryDarkMan from an angle, from a perspective that you've always wanted him to come to this very point, so that people can actually laugh at him, so that people can see that he is exactly what he has been preaching against or fighting against, you're a criminal. You're a very miserable person. You're a very miserable person. You're a very wicked person. Yes, you're a very wicked person.